Yeah, hopefully it's even working. Well, hello there. You may remember me from such films as the first time I said sorry to you, Dance Girl. I never really meant it. Because, I still thought you're evil as fuck, and it was just the right thing to do. I apologize to Dance Girl, helpless little baby. Get rid of my own guilt. Haunted by the word sorry when I'm typing so. And anyways, so what should I do? In auto corrupt, the word sorry auto generates, and it says, "Is this the word you want?" And I say, for the last time, it's not. I already apologized to her, and she dribbled fucking basketballs by my house. She's evil as fuck, remember? She's a xenomorph I'm taming. Have you ever seen those videos of those guys who are super hot and unobtainable and muscular and straight somehow? And they say, I'm going to go into the Humane Society and sit with a sheltered, abused dog. With an unsheltered, abused dog. And I'm going to do all these tactics, and I'm going to make the dog warm up to me. Because it's aggressive, and it's going to bite, and it's terrified, and it's angry. And I thought, you're not scared, you're just aggressive. You're not soft and innocent. You're just fucking aggressive. I'm not sorry to you. And, but for some reason I could say sorry to Blonde Girl. I could say not only I'm sorry for what you've been through, but I'm sorry for my part in harming you. But not to Dance Girl. Oh no, she's evil as fuck. She's not innocent. She was spying on me in the locker room. I set a trap, and she was spying on me in the fucking locker room. Well, now I'm sorry, Dance Girl. Now, why am I sorry? Because I tried on your pants, and I found out you're a model. I asked I really want to get that pussy bad. I fucking asked ChatGPT, how much ratio does she have? Is she a 0.7? I said she has size 28 pants, and they're long fit. And I said the brand name, and I knew that they're a slim fit. They're specially tailored. I said, I think she's about 5'8" or 5'9". She could be 5'10". And I was pretty upset that, I wanted Dance Girl to have more ratio. And ChatGPT is like, she's actually a model. But it doesn't look like it because she's tall. I was like, oh. And so I tried on her pants. I looked at my butt. I was like, are these tight on her? Does she wear tight pants? Now, what do I want? Is this too soon? I don't know if this is too soon. What do I want Dance Girl to wear? Well, let's go back to this sorry thing first. Dance Girl has never said sorry to me, and I've never said sorry to her. Now, in our family, don't be sorry, just don't do the fucking mistake again. Okay? Just don't make the mistake in the first place, please. That's kind of how we deal with issues. Okay? Whether you're sorry or not, we're like Amazon return policy. It doesn't really matter what your reason is. Just do the thing that you're supposed to, and don't do the thing you're not supposed to. And whether you had a coming to Jesus moment or your dad fucked you, it doesn't matter. Just don't make the mistake. Well, that's a little bit cold. That's a little bit cold, okay? That's pretty harsh. And frankly, I have been haunted by this sorry word. And I've apologized before. Back when I was traumatized, and back when I was feeling extremely repressed about how angry I was. And then I would get basketballs dribbled by me, which were probably from TSD or some kind of handler. I mean, let me just introduce a little bit of humor here. We all know this is already the case, but today when I was driving my mom home from the airport, it doesn't even matter really. The same people who send children to stalk me also sent a fire truck to honk at me for driving home from the airport while there were children walking home from school. How did I bring that up for? Well, because it was some handler who, how does that logic work? I frankly don't know. But I had a lot of repressed anger and repressed guilt. And so my saying sorry back then was completely false. And if Dance Girl is a mystic, then she has no logic and she only senses what's in your heart. And so if you're really like, I'd like you to die, which was my sentiment, and you're saying sorry, then it comes up as a huge contradiction. Like, no, that doesn't work at all. That's not exactly how you feel. That's not at all how you feel. And so because I had said sorry before and only had been punished for it, I thought, I'll never say that again. And to give myself more credit, to some extent, I did mean it. But my sorry was too big. My sorry was fake in that I meant it, and I had taken on all the guilt and the shame, and I had very sincerely apologized for it. But I was apologizing for more than what TSF and Dance Girl deserved. And that in itself, if someone gives you more than you deserve, clearly you want to kill them. The apology was, TSF not responsible, Z-Bubs responsible. Sorry for all of the problems, Dance Girl. It's all my fault. But my real sorry is, I'm sorry for the pain that you went through. And I'm sorry for my involvement in that. I'm sorry for contributing it to it. And by I'm sorry, I mean, it bothers me. It makes me feel dirty. I hope you're okay. I, of course, have worried that you would kill yourself, and I would be left going, it's my fault, which again is very selfish of me. Google AI would say, that doesn't mean he loves you. That means he's worried about his own well-being. I'm not sure how to separate those two. But what I can say is that I think you're a joyful person. I hesitate to say that because the times I've seen you joyful were where you were torturing me. And perhaps that's just because of my having never expressed any concern for your well-being. That I basically said it's all your fault and fuck you. And of course, I felt the same sentiment coming back from you. But that doesn't erase my sorrow. Now, my haters are going to say, well, aren't you just the morally superior, smug hero, aren't you? You fucking asshole. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. If you don't feel any sorrow towards me, I personally don't care. But you have. We've both felt bad for what we've done to each other. Sometimes I think of you as a real person. And not just a fuckhole. Or not just a fantasy. The fantasy goes much deeper than just being a fuckhole. I'm not trying to say that I just think of you as an object to have sex with. I also think of you as someone to take away my loneliness, not just a meeting of my needs, not just an erasure of my loneliness, not just a status symbol that my girlfriend's a model. And she's played all kinds of games with me and made me feel really unwanted by her. And now I feel finally she wants me. And I have a great ego about that. That Dance Girl was always the popular it girl. Like whatever that girl's name was in The Devil Wears Prada. Now I think you have blue eyes, Dance Girl, and this girl has brown eyes. But the hair is close enough. And, maybe the ratio too, if you're taller. You could never really tell. Din Venom's ex-Pig had crazy ratio, but she was 6'2", so you couldn't tell, but she did have crazy ratio. So you're stretched out like a fruit roll-up. So that's really good news for me. I tried on your pants. It's exciting. It's really exciting. But thinking of you as a real person, I'm being a bit facetious here. Of course I think of you as a real person. But we're getting to know each other on the periphery. And at the beginning, you start off liking the person's hair and eyes and etc. And the content is not only irrelevant, but unknown. unknowable. And the container is just the thing. And so when I say sometimes I think of you as a real person, it doesn't mean, that can sound very rude, actually. And I'm sort of being funny, but there's truth to jokes. Joke comes from yoke, from breaking the yoke, from yoga, to bridge the gap. So I think of you as a real person. I don't think of you as like evil and immature. I'm having a moment. My mind is just full of stuff right now. It's hard for me to focus. I'm actually unable to think right now. My mind is just drawing blanks. Somehow watching TV helps. Or maybe not. I feel like I drink like Napoleon Dynamite. I just suddenly grab it and start chugging. Okay, I've articulated it. Do you remember last month how I made an innocent mistake and you tried killing me? And so you would think that the conclusion would be you're not a real person and that the only thing I'd like about you is to have sex with you. And I'd say, damn, bro, have you seen the pussy? It makes it all worth it. She tried to kill you, bro? Yeah, but have you seen the pussy? It makes it all worth it. Okay, you'd think that would be the thing. But looking at it from the scared dog model, you're not fucked up. You just see things in a different way. Partially because I've never expressed any remorse to you, and I'm your pig daddy. So you would be getting your cues on how to behave from me. And I've basically said, it was all your fault, Dance Girl, and your family's. And I'm not sorry for anything. But it wasn't your fault up until you turned 16, and then it was instantly your fault. Completely not your fault. Completely not your fault. The millisecond you turn 16, completely your fault, and fuck you. And you're just as bad as all of them. And then the millisecond you turn 18, it's even more your fault, and completely fuck you. And everything before that point, all your family's fault. Me, not sorry about it one bit. Because not my responsibility. I enjoyed? So what? Every victim does. Fuck you. And now look at my pig. She's like, I make one mistake. She's like, fuck you. I'm like, what's going on? Why is she so bad? And you know what Gwen Stefani says? And I'm a lesbian in a man's body, remember? Why do the good girls always like the bad boys? Well, I don't think you're a boy, Dance Girl. Unless you're, well, no, I don't think you're, but anyways, well, what could I expect from you when I'm just giving you that same thing on a longer timeline of you didn't know any better? Well, too bad. Fuck you. Innocent mistake? Too bad. Fuck you. Oh no, it wasn't innocent. You were evil as fuck. But it was your family's fault because you were underage. I mean, that's kind of hypocritical. You're so evil, but it's not your fault. How can it be both? And then I had already taken all the blame and said, sorry, and I only got fucking punished for it. So I was like, never again. Not only will I not take any blame ever again, but I'll never have any sympathy for you. I'll say, if you kill yourself, that's not my problem. That's your parents' fault. I won't feel bad for that. I've thought this. Now, do I really think you're going to kill yourself? I'm probably projecting. But, and am I planning on killing myself? No. I'm having a good time. And for the first time, today I felt like you don't love me. I feel like you love me now. But when I went to get my hair cut, I didn't really get any confirmation from you. And I thought, yeah, I don't think you love me. And I didn't necessarily even think about euthanasia for more than a couple minutes. I thought, just be sad. Just be sad. And maybe you'll be a raw vegan. Maybe you'll have a good life anyway. Maybe you'll have maybe you'll have her back as well. Maybe she's just testing you. Well, then I got something later on. I forgot what it was, but the last thing I got from you was very nice. I can't remember what it was, but the emotional feeling of it is still here. I'm like, whatever that was, it was really fucking good. I haven't even gotten any sleep. I don't even remember what it was. I mean, there was the two Hondas in the roundabout, like a marriage, like a ring. Oh, it was the black couple at Mr. Sub. And yeah, that was pretty awesome. So I've been super happy about that. Now, could it all fall apart again? I go out tomorrow and I don't get any confirmation, and then I start getting sad again. Maybe. But I think you're going to meet me on this date. I've been starting to get excited for it again. Very difficult thing to do. So I've carried this sorrow for a while. The word sorry, when it auto-generates, it bothers me. I don't like seeing that word. I think, I'm not sorry. Get out of here. And it's like, I didn't say that you were. I just auto-generated it. What are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, dance school's worth it to save up my baby better for. That's her peripheral. That's the body. But I guess, I don't really know. This sounds kind of tacky. But Never mind. It's too stupid. I'm too tired. I can't even say it without it sounding tacky. But you're pretty hot, Dance Girl. I truthfully didn't really see it. I was like, yeah. But when I tried on your pants, I was like, she's elongated. I don't think I knew how attracted I am to you. This is pretty exciting. I had wondered if I'm better looking than you. And that's how this works, that I'm older, but I'm better looking, and that's why you like me. And so it evens out. But talking to Google Gemini about your ratios and trying on your pants and remembering what you looked like when you walked away and seeing that you actually do have a ratio. You're just tall, so it's hidden. It really made me care about you. And that's the periphery. And that leads to your soul. And so that leads to the part of me that says, I care about you as a person too. At the periphery, I want to save my baby batter for you. And at the middle, I want to save my emotional sensitivity for you. And say, I'm sorry, Dance Girl. And it's not a tactic. It's not to say, and you should be sorry to me too. And you should really treat me better. And maybe this will solve it. I think I really would put my toothbrush up your butt. Even, not that I ever wouldn't have, but I think I'd enthusiastically do it. You know, I'm getting a boner right now. It's been a while. And I just busted a huge nut a day ago. And your face is great. Your face is spectacular. So I can see why TSD wants to rape you and kill you. And kill me too. Well. Anyways, I hope I could be pretty hot for you too. I think our date will be pretty great. I'm kind of nervous, but not really. I thought maybe you won't be there because you can't, because it goes against the rules. But then I remembered that you gave me your name, and so that's a precedent that is as ballsy as meeting. So I'm not really going to try to play it off like anything, like as if we don't know each other, as if we haven't scheduled our first date. I know the penalty is really harsh if you ever, as a gang stalker, say that gang stalking is real, but maybe not. I don't know. I've seen lots of gang stalkers say, I used to be a gang stalker and now I quit. I've seen other people who said, I had a friend who was a gang stalker. They basically took me out to the desert naked, and they told me everything, and then they died a month later. So I don't know what's a psyop and what's real. But by the time I apologized to you tonight, it wasn't a difficult thing to do. It was, of course, I'm sorry, Dance Girl. You didn't deserve that. And you say, well, what about when I turned 16? Yeah, but you deserved an apology before then, which would have made you not evil by the time you were 16. So that wasn't your fault. And extending on to now. And so, if you've seen American History X, I helped create you. And now I am helping turn you to human from a xenomorph, which I think you already are. But I want to make sure you're very soft human. I don't want you to be calloused. I don't want you to be broken and think that when someone doesn't talk to you in a fuck shack, it means that they want you to die and that they're just fucking with you. I don't want you to be a paranoid psycho who is an unlovable person because you're so hurt. Now, really, have I ever stopped loving you? No. I think we can see through each other's shells, through each other's egos. And I've almost stopped loving you, and to some extent I have, when I couldn't see through it. And I think in part it's because I couldn't see through my own. Obviously it makes no sense if I say, but Dance Girl, I've already apologized to you, so I wouldn't owe you any other apology. Are you crazy? And I meant it. Way back when, I meant it. But just because you mean something doesn't mean it's true. There are lots of insane people, I think we know some, who they mean what they say, but they're fucking insane. You'd be like, you can't see yourself, can you? If you could only see yourself, but you can't, can you? And they're going, and they're frothing at the mouth, and they're sticking their tools at you through their cage. They're trying to get you. And you're like, I believe you think that. To you, that's real. I know that's real to you. But if you had 20 years of therapy, you would realize that that's not real. That's not really your true sentiment. You're actually deranged lunatic. And there are a lot of those. And you got to go first. As the person who's less of a deranged lunatic, you got to go first and say, I'm sorry for my part in this. I hope you're okay. Whether we're together or not, whether we see each other or not, whether we love each other or not. I hope you're okay. And of course, we do love each other. And I mean, it goes both ways. I couldn't see you dumping me. If you dump me, I'll be really surprised. I'm kind of getting excited to go on this date with you, especially considering I think you're hot. I'm like, oh my God, that is really cool. Like, that's actually really cool. I started to think, I wonder if you're as attracted to me as I am to you. And if I really would put my toothbrush up your butt, I'm thinking, yeah, there's nothing else I want to do. But, I mean, good choice of words. Amazing. Stretchy pants. I wonder if those pants are tight on you. I'd have to think that you wear loose pants. Now, would I ask you what to wear on your date? On our date, I mean? Well, speaking of your date, sometimes thoughts of you with other guys come to my mind, and it's not such a thing anymore. I'm not like, ooh, I gotta jack off to that. Or, oh my God, you fucking bitch, fuck you. I'm just like, you're my pig. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not resentful. I don't carry things from the past. Now, of course, someone who carries things from the past and is resentful says, I'm not resentful and I don't carry things from the past. But this time it's true. And I know I say that every time, but this time it's really true. And I know I say that every time, but this time it's really true. Etc. ad infinitum, to the point where I see the Turtles upon Turtles cosmic God play, and I can say, I've went through all the mistakes, starting from infinity. I've traced it back. Well, how did this piss me off? Because of that happened. Because I just happened to be walking down Kenneth. How did that happen? Because TSD had been wanting to randomly kill someone. Well, how did that happen? Because he had a daughter with premature birth who had facial abnormalities, who he felt dissatisfied with because he wanted someone hotter to how did that happen? Well, if you go back far enough, it's because in the 17th century, a certain country invaded a certain other country. And how did that happen? Because Helen of Troy got taken from one country to the next and it started a war. And how did that happen? Because they said, give us Barabbas and not Jesus. And it goes back all the way infinity. And finally I say, okay, there's no tracing this back anymore. I'm sorry, Dance Girl. There's no one to blame. It's just, I'm sorry if you were hurt. If I caused you pain, which I did, I'm sorry about that. I hope you're okay. So I'm gonna just, keep not jacking off now. I don't have candida, I found out. I also like who I am. I'm curious if you like who I am. I feel personally much cooler than I've ever been. I don't feel like I'm hiding from myself, and I don't feel like I have my own disapproval. I feel like I have my distinct approval, that I'm figuring out who I am in the moment, and I keep liking it. I keep going, yeah, you're great. You're fucking great, man. I couldn't believe it for a long time because I only acted great, but I wasn't. And you can act perfectly great. You can make no mistakes. A lot of people would come to Osho and they'd say, we're vegetarian. We do everything properly. And nothing's happening. We don't sin. We have positive thinking. We don't harm anyone. Our moral point is maxed out. But nothing's happening. Where's the spirit? Where's the holy fucking spirit? We don't find it here. We don't find it by being goody two-shoes. And so where is it? It's in your ass. I think it's in your ass. I mean, I don't know where else. I don't know how else to get to the middle of someone. We say it's in your periphery. Okay, it's in Dance Girl's ass. That's why I have to put my toothbrush to get to your soul, to get to the middle point of your soul. It's the empty space. Technically, inside your ass isn't part of your body. I mean, if you have a bunch of inner tubes that people go tubing on, the inner space isn't part of the tube. It's just the space in the middle of the tube. So that's where I have to get to. I have to get inside Dance Girl's ass to get to her soul. That's why I have to. And then in my mouth isn't part of my body. It's just in my mouth. So I have to get in her soul and then get her soul into me to get our frequencies matched. And that's what love is. Okay? That's how it works. Now, I need fucking... Oh, I need a snack. We don't have anything to eat. Oh, yes, we do, actually. I made Indian food. This is really good. Speaking of, well, look at this. Soy chunks in, you know who wasn't the friendliest at first is Hina at the First Choice Supercuts I went to in the Zara's parking lot. And then the woman whose husband is a deep undercover cop, high ranking, she said. I almost told her, do you know who my dad is? They're talking about sex trafficking. I almost say, you want to know who my dad is? Just to blow their minds. But, you know, old women have the best conversations. At first, Hina was like, name, phone number. And then afterwards, when she saw the soy chunks, she was like talking about how you cook them and how you flavor them. Oh man, we got fucking battery is dying here. Have we covered everything? I hope we have. I feel like we haven't though. I don't know what else there is to talk about. The microphone is about to die. Man. Well, I could fix it. I don't know what else there is to talk about though. really don't know how to move on. We were talking about small teachings. People say I'm vegetarian. Does that make me enlightened? No. How do we talk about that? I don't remember how that came up. I'll be with you in a moment. I'm sorry if that sounded calloused. I really am a bit frustrated right now. I typically shut down when I'm frustrated. The best thing I have going for me is that I'm able to honestly express to you that I'm frustrated and not hide it. I have adrenaline right now. It's the same feeling as if I'm looking for something and I can't find it. I start sweating and I get angry. Well, I wonder if those are tight-fitting pants on you. ChatGPT says you probably have 0.75 ratio, 0.74, 0.73, somewhere in that range. I thought, really? It was like, yep. Maybe we're talking about thinking you're a real person. Something about turtles on turtles. Seeing you as a real person. I think I pretty much said it. Really, I just like looking at you, even through the camera. It's a really nice thing. I think, for you to have my energy towards you and receiving that is a gift for me. And I never know what I'm going to say to you. So I figure it out in the moment. And I'm giving you my raw authenticity. I wonder where you can get that anywhere else. Because it's pretty fucking rare. And I hope that you appreciate me. I think you do. That may have sounded wrong. Like, you better appreciate me. I don't mean it like that. I hope you really are in disbelief how much you love me. I hope it shocks you. I hope you say, I actually never knew what it was to be loved and how great it is. That would make me feel like a really cool guy. Well, anything else to talk about? I think, I don't know. I gotta get some snacks or something. I don't know what there is around here. I don't think we're gonna fight before our date. Maybe we'll eat some chocolate chips. Could eat an apple. Eating plain chocolate chips is kind of boring. Okay, I'm gonna do something kind of bad. I'm gonna move the camera to a bad angle so I can plug in the microphone. Maybe I can plug it in here. Maybe not. Or maybe I can. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you can still see me, but can't remember what I was talking about earlier. Whatever. Maybe it's part of shadow work. Oh, it was a big day for me. It was a very, very difficult day. Basically, because of what I said last night, I've helped a lot of the retards who stand in our light to become not retarded. And wow, you know, there is that fucking Jeep that's on the way to Mr. Sub. Now, in the book of Mirdad, there's this narrator who I identified with. He starts off in the pit of his ego. And he meets these people along the way who help him. And so when you read this book, this guy's Lebanese, the right tip. He says, there's this old woman who helps him. There's just kind of like people in a labyrinth, in different archetypes of people. And they give him very, you know, his legs are broken. And they you know, I'm just making this up, I can't remember, but this is kind of the gist of it. So they take him in, and they give him a cast for a couple months, and they feed him, and they send him on his way, and he keeps going. And he's meeting these people who give him these gifts. And so you suddenly think of these people in your life who you take for granted as these archetypes, these people who are helping you out of the pit. You have no idea. They're your spirit guides. They're your spirit animals. And so I go see the guy at Mr. Sub today. He's one of my favorites. The sub costs $15 fucking for a 12-inch. For a plain veggie and cheese, it costs like $10.59. I should have got that one. But I don't get cheese, so I don't want to pay for that. But no matter what I get, they charge you for cheese. I'm like, okay. Then just give me extra lettuce and extra tomatoes and extra, like, no, not extra onions. but extra sauce. Even extra salt and pepper. Today there wasn't enough salt and pepper on it. I could have asked for more, but I felt really fucked up about what I said yesterday. Which was, yeah, I did it, and it wasn't my fault. And that's different than saying, I didn't do it. If I did, it was an accident. And I wanted to regress back and say, no, it was an accident. But then, if it was an accident, then who is actually responsible can say it was an accident too. And other people who are not responsible would feel like they are. Including me. By saying it was an accident, I was saying I am responsible. By saying it wasn't an accident, I'm saying I'm not responsible. Therefore, exonerating certain gang stalkers who I take responsibility for, who are our retards, who it's our job to make them not retarded. So I go into Mr. Sub, I see this guy, and I look at him, like, you know, right? And you love me, right? You're my new dad, right? You're my new pig daddy, right? Same thing with the guy at Walmart. He says, you do vlogs? I say, yeah, I'm Z-Bubs. Then I go home and I say, you know, I just strangled my pig and I raped the fuck out of her. Oops. And then I go back to Walmart and I'm like, hey, what's up? Do you like me? And so I start going into that with the Mr. Sub guy, who's one of my spirit guides. He's there to help me. And I start regressing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just an accident. I'm like, no. And I'm fucking dancing. You know, I'm singing music. I'm going, oh, it's so expensive. Oh my god. Putting on a show. Anything to distract from the feeling of you don't know what I really think, do you? You don't know who I really am, do you? I start regressing. No, it's just an accident. Come on. I'll just dance and make it funny. Man, these subs are expensive, huh? How about that weather? Hey, geez, have you seen the price of tomatoes? It's crazy. I said to my friends, what is it, tomatoes or tornadoes? I'm blowing all the money away. Are you kidding me? Halfway through, I go, stop being a baby. Stop being a child. I don't think you're a child, Dance Girl. That's what I'm saying. To some extent, because you're 19, that's a point. But to some extent, people never grow up. Many people are big babies for their whole lives. In fact, they get more babyish. They have a peak when they're about 20. They're the least babyish they've ever been. And then they start getting more babyish. And they get more dumb and rotten as they get older forever. And so sometimes, I mean, to the extent that I'm not a baby, I see you as my equal. Well, what does that mean? It means that you've transcended your ego. And that's like your firewall. Like, it's an invisible layer in your colon. That needs to be transcended too. We have to get through your butthole, but there's an invisible butthole within your butthole. That has to be penetrated too. But you can only penetrate. That's like lifting the sword of Thor or whatever. You know how there's that in those stories? There's a sword and a stone, and no one can pick it up except for the pure of heart. Well, to penetrate your spirit ass, I have to be removing my own ego. And for that, I can't be projecting onto you. If I feel sorrow, that's your fault, and fuck you. I can't be blaming my emotions on you. And thankfully, to get to a place where I can say sorry without it being a gimmick in order to exploit you, all I've had to do was be vulnerable and fucking say it how it is and be courageous. That's not easy to say, but ultimately when you live in denial, the longer you do it, the more you forget who you were before you did it. And so you got amazing gifts. I've gotten amazing gifts since yesterday. And if I were to have regressed, I would have, ultimately not been that cool. Okay, well, maybe we could get some kind of, I don't think we have a dock over here. I don't know what to do. We have no microphone over here, let's go. I hope you like listening to me. I think you do. Have the microphone, let's go. okay. Well, I just had to give the microphone a little top up. But I think that about concludes our video. You know, you're awesome. I love you. You're amazing. I can't believe how amazing you are. I want you to feel like I'm the only real person you've ever met. Because, well, never mind. I want you to feel like I'm the realest person you've ever met. Because, well, because that's how I feel about you. I was hesitating to say it. I was thinking, really? What about that person, and that person, and that person, and that person, and that person? Well, I hope we have... What? I hope we have what? I don't know. I mean, a good date. That was what I was going to say, a good date. I didn't want to say it again, but I hope we have a good date. I'm really excited. I think I might be way more nervous than I know. I might not even be processing it yet. I might be like, yeah, it's just an illusion anyway. I'm like, no, it's real. It's real this time. Yeah, sure, this time it's real. But yeah, right, this time, after how many millions of times, it's never going to be real. I'm like, but this time it's going to be real. This time I swear it's fact. This time it's not an act. And what are we going to talk about? Well, I feel like you get me. I'm giving you the deepest layers of my soul. And so why would it be any different than it is now? Like, I can already talk to you right now, so I'll be able to talk to you then too. And I talk to you on a lot of levels. I talk to you on the periphery, your ass brush. I talk to you on emotional. You're a good person. I hope you're not mentally fucked for life. And you don't deserve to be. And I talk to you on the spirit level, that you get the truth beneath the words. And so I'm curious what it's going to be like to talk to you. I mean, they say when two Buddhas meet, they just kiss. And there's nothing else to do. It'll just be like, oh, hi, dance girl. Do you like my pants? Do you like my toothbrush? Do you like my haircut? Do you want to go for a walk? What's your favorite color? Do you like stuff? I mean, it'll be so cool. You already know everything about me, but I'll be able to ask things about you. Oh, that'd be really nice. To be interested in you. To be curious about you. Like, do you wear blue because you like it? is what's your favorite color? Now, of course, I wouldn't say, do you wear that color because you have to, because you're gang stalking? Instead, I'll just say, what's your favorite color? Or, I don't know. Oh, you know what's strange, though? What was up with that Jeep? There's a black Jeep. It had an accident on it. What was up with that? Well, anyway, that was bizarre. I've never really thought about that. Like, if people threaten you, I'm like, was that what that was? I'm like, am I supposed to be like, that's my pig you're threatening? I always feel like you could take care of yourself. But, well, I wondered what that was. I thought that was you threatening me. But I thought, I don't think you would do that. I really don't think you would do that. And especially if you sit in a white car, a nice white car. Now, of course, there's two black people in there. What does that mean? Well, I think it means that you and I are both black, and we're a relationship together. And so if that car was from you and a nice sign, which I think it was, you know, I ultimately feel validated tonight because of that. I ultimately feel like you're my girlfriend right now because of that. And therefore, the black Jeep, which I could be wrong, was in an accident. What's up with that? Sitting a black Jeep with an accident? Is that a threat to me? Or to you? I mean, clearly, someone's trying to fuck with us. Someone's trying to, like, disrupt our relationship. And so I don't know what that kind of thing means. But I could imagine that your family would be pretty pissed if someone threatens little baby dance girl. To some extent, I would be too. I mean, I think of you as my pig. But, I mean, get in line. I mean, in terms of people who I love being threatened, yeah, it happens all the time. Everyone I love has been threatened over and over and over and over. And they all have stories of almost getting in car wrecks, too. Or, you know, someone hit and run. Or someone doing something dangerous where the woman says, thank God my man was driving because I would have fucking freaked. I wouldn't have known what to do. Something like that. This has happened to multiple of us. And you'd like to say, if anyone fucks with my dance girl, I'm going to huff and puff and blow their house down, and I'm going to do 50 jumping jacks just to get warmed up, just to kick the whole world's ass if I have to. Rule number 2, bad boys move in silence and violence. Rule number 2, never let them know your next move. Bad boys ride in silence and violence. Well, that was, you know, Biggie Smalls. And he fucking was pretty great. Biggie, 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 can't you see? But all I can really say is it's pretty fucked up. I think we have a lot of friends. I think there's a lot of people who like us. I don't think you're scared even. And I don't really think... I'm not scared either. I don't think you're like, C-Bubs, please, tell me it'll be okay. I don't think you're like that at all. I'm also not like that at all. I don't worry. Well, it's fucked up. You know, if you think about Topical, at the hairdresser today, we're talking about murderers. Obviously, there's a bunch of old women getting their hair cut. So we're going to talk about murderers, of course. And, you know, how the world has gone to hell. And so the hairdresser today, her husband is a deep undercover cop. And, I mean, I'm being a little bit mocking here, because she told me, she made fun of my haircut. She said it looks like a kid's cut. I said I want like short here and to go down, kind of like a surfer. And she's like, well, that would look like a child. I was like, are you gang stalking me right now? But I didn't think she was. And then she was like, my husband is a cop deep undercover. He's really high ranking. I was like, yeah, I'm not making fun of you. I brag too. I definitely do brag. And so I get it. But then what else did she say? I don't know. Well, she was nice though. I liked her. I kind of wanted bangs. I actually thought I would look good with bangs. You know, she said first we'll even it out and then you can have bangs if you want. I was like, okay. But she said, but the way she styled it, I was like, oh, I don't think so. And she's like, don't mess it up. And I'm like, yeah, but the way you're styling it, it makes me look like I have a pinhead. And she's like, you have body dysmorphia. And I'm like, no, I don't. I have a pinhead, and I have to style it a certain way. And I really kind of wanted bangs, but I just trusted her, really. And she's like, my daughter just got a co-op for $800 a month. A housing. And I said, oh, that's really expensive. And she's like, what? That's cheap. And I was like, yeah, but I live, like, with my mom. I don't know how much stuff costs. She's like, that would cost $2,500. I was like, okay, well then, so that means Dance Girl and I can afford a house if we get government assistance? I mean, Dance Girl's psycho as fuck. She should be able to get some kind of government money. But the problem is when you apologize to her for traumatizing her for life and you actually mean it, a miracle happens where she stops being crazy and then she can't get government money anymore. And so how are we going to afford a house, Dance Girl? You could see that you're screwed if you do, screwed if you don't. Well, you know, the point I'm trying to make is on the way to the sub shop, I'm reminded of my conversation at the hairdresser where we talk about the woman who got killed by a guy who had connections to basically get off with it. And so it's kind of fucked up to think, what would you do if someone kills your fucking pig? What would you do, really? I don't know. Not something you like to think about. It's so far-fetched, I wouldn't even think about it. But I wonder if you're gang stalked, if you get like harassment and stuff, what happens, how your life is. I guess I couldn't even ask you if you're gang stalked. I think you are, but I wonder if someone is sending me that Jeep and what they're doing to you. I always think you're invulnerable. You're impenetrable. I think of you like Tony Robbins. Like, I think of you as so strong. That I've never worried for you. I've wondered sometimes if you suffer in silence. All kinds of suffering. Feeling helpless, and closed in on by the world, and decimated. And kind of like you have nothing, like nowhere to turn. That's how I felt after we broke up last time. I felt like there was nowhere to turn, nowhere to run. Now, I think what that was my understanding that we had a misunderstanding, and there was nowhere to turn and there was nowhere to run, because it would have been delusional. Had I said, "Fuck you, dance girl," I would have been denying the fact of how everything has played out until now. I.e., you thought I had intentionally harmed you. And you had never had any sort of sympathy from me, other than the kind of sympathy that doesn't acknowledge my own sorrow for how I've treated you. And so, barring all that, you're still my pig. But it was impossible to see because it was so veiled, and there was nowhere to turn, because any direction other than you was a lie. And of course, you could ask ChatGPT. As Mikhail says, logic is a crutch for the cripple. And I could say to ChatGPT, do you know what she did? She went and got this guy to fucking cuck me and fucking put in a wee vibe. And then she did this whole elaborate thing where she had this little fatso fucking Teletubby who she pretends to wave at me, but she's waving at them. And then she does this, and can you believe that? And do you think I should forgive her? And ChatGPT goes, no, never forgive her. Never forgive her. She's bad to the bone. She can't change. She's irredeemable. She's helpless. You can't fix that one. Oh, she's gone for good. Her fate is sealed forever. Evil to the core, forever. Cut and run as fast as you can. Run like the wind, lad. Will you still have an innocent, boyish heart before she turns it to stone? Okay, I could have used logic as a crutch. I had nowhere to turn. I've sometimes wondered if you felt the same helplessness in the face of your own veils, in the face of your own misunderstandings, that your intuition understands better than your mind, and you have dissonance and you're split, that no matter what way you do it, it feels wrong. And if you have moments of silence where you recognize it, but you're helpless to talk about it, that you don't know how to put it into words, if you felt the futility of trying to communicate with a lover and just felt completely broken about it and helpless, I've wondered if you felt like that. And in other ways too, like gang stalking, or just in general, the state of the world, just having to deal with people, having to deal with retards all the time, or hypocrites, people treating you badly and pretending it's for your own good. or I'm not trying to be your parent here, because that's what parents do, but I mean, in general, like people, you know, like, are your parents treating you bad because I'm your new big daddy? But just like people, you know, you go to the train station and the guy, he could help you, but he has to read the paper a little bit longer. He just has to show you your place a little bit. He has to make a phone call before he helps you, just to show you, and you feel it, and just, you know, and then you have to make money, you have to work with people, you have to deal with people. There's a whole bunch of predicaments you're in. These are normal things, but I wondered about you. Like, how are you doing? I wonder how you're doing. I never see any vulnerability or weakness in you. And I wonder sometimes if you're hiding it. If sometimes you just break down and cry. I imagine you sometimes crying. I wonder, does Dance Girl ever cry? What does that look like? Well, I started playing Sonic Transformers again. It sucks. It fucking sucks. Oh, the new Sonic game is way better. I would not go back to Sonic Transformers. Sonic Crossroads is way fucking better. I know, maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't care. But I have to do my taxes. I'm down to $200 the rest of the month, which is actually pretty good because I'm getting $75. I was down to $132 for the rest of the month because I bought all this stuff. I bought like a cord for my headphones. I bought a new phone. I bought a phone case. I know you already know this, but I just want to talk about it because I'm so excited. I want to buy new socks. I want to buy new shoes. And if I buy new shoes and new socks, I won't have enough money to eat anything except for fruit. And I don't have Candida. I don't know if I told you that, but I don't have Candida. I checked. I was like, oh, I actually don't have it. So really, all I'd have to do is, you know, I don't really have to do that. But, I mean, I would be cool going on our date without even kissing you and fucking you. And, I mean, it would be fun for me just to be near you and to look at you up close and to hear your voice. And, but I do like to be healthy. You know, it is pretty cool to be healthy. I would like to go back raw vegan. Get some shoes. I don't like my new haircut that much. I really don't. But I don't know why. It might be just because I don't like the grays. I'm not going to dye my hair. I'll never dye my hair. You can dye it, but I'm not going to dye it. But I don't want you to dye it either. I don't want you to be like, oh, so you just want me to dye it so you don't feel like you're a tryhard. No. If you said, do you want me to dye it? I'd say, I don't think so. I'd say if you want to do it, if it matters to you, go ahead. But if you're just offering me to do it for free, or, you know, like, not for free, but like you'll do, like, I don't know. What if you wanted me to do it? I probably wouldn't do it. No, those colors don't look natural. It looks very wrong. When you can't get a natural look when you dye your hair. That's, you know, it's not cool. It's not cool to dye your hair. There's something really wrong with you if you dye your hair. There's something really fucking wrong with you. That's not okay. But you could get, you know, hair plugs. I think that's okay. Now maybe I'm biased because Zeph has hair plugs, and I'll never go bald. So I'm like, yeah, I fucking would go crazy if I went bald. I'll never go bald in my life. but I will go gray. One of my best professors, Don Morganson, he never went bald either, but he went gray. He was like 95, and he had 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, or on Rate My Professor. I really liked him. I thought I talked to his son one time. He was like 90 and he had a 16-year-old adopted son. But he had a doppelganger, seemingly, unless it was him, but I don't think so. Recently at Food Basics, there was someone who looked just like him who asked me about my e-bike. I was like, you could ride it. He laughed. He was like, no. It was the same kind of person. Tall, lanky, big head. Looks like a obvious scholar, but a good one. One of the very rare ones. So I'll sit on the chair closest to my house, and you should sit on the chair closest to the trail, because my better side is my right side, and I want you to see that. Unless you want to see my worst side, so then you can save the better side for later. You know, either one. I think you have a pretty symmetrical face. So, I don't think you really care. And then I could have a cheat day if I have fruit until our date today. I can basically, well, I have to drink a lot of water every day when I eat fruit, which is difficult, and then you have to pee all the time, and it sucks. So I wouldn't want to have to be peeing and saying, can I use your bathroom? Oh, hi, Dance Girls family. How's it going? But maybe, but I don't want to have to be having to pee every 20 minutes. So I could drink lots of water every day, get really fucking hydrated, get really healthy, and then the day of, I could just stop drinking water, which will make me unbelievably fucking high. An amount that you couldn't even guess. It would be like taking acid or something. It's fucking crazy. You know, it's all relative. I'll be right back. I have to eat some chocolate. Okay, never mind. I can just put the microphone on like this. There, now it's plugged in. I'm really happy we got through this conversation. It's difficult having these conversations with you. I feel like I'm in real time. I'm moving through time. Or in other words, I'm figuring out what I'm saying as I'm saying it. And I'm going, yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm having fun, I'm entertained. I'm entertained while talking to you. That's why I think you're entertained. Look at your thick hair. I have thin hair. It's curly. But not that curly. Only sometimes. I'd have to drink more water for it to be curly. But when it's curly, it's really fucking nice. It's beautiful, really. I'm rather dehydrated. I'm like Tom Cruise in the Interview with a Vampire movie at the end. Oh shit. Yeah, okay, because dropping a chocolate chip on a white blanket with the body heat melting it would be what I wanted to happen. Okay. What is that chocolate chip? Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna go play video games again. So yeah, I'm gonna keep not jacking it, etc. You know, I don't mean to be repetitive here, but it's hard, you know. Like fucking. I like to think that you're worth it. You're worth the pain of not anesthetizing myself. It's quite painful to be with you, and it's only made possible by how lovely you are. The pain of being with you is, to some extent, when I think of you as a real person, which I think I've already talked about what that means, and that you are a real person, and it's not an insult. It's like when I'm a real person, then I see you as a real person, and then it's the pain, a very sad pain. I don't know if you've ever felt it. I somehow doubt you have. But it's the pain of us getting older. I don't know if you've ever felt it even once. You may have been enamored with our fighting and with our breaking up and getting together, and it's so exciting. And I don't know if you've ever thought about it, that our life is passing us by. Not that we're wasting our lives, but that our time here is limited together, and there's a sadness in that makes you weak. And you have to get over a lot of the new kind of novelty, the excitement of sex, the validation of possessing someone, and the high that comes with it. And then there's like a fucking sadness. But it's good, obviously. Well, what else did I order? I got a battery, a phone case. I got some new socks, I think. Well, the song that reminded me of this sadness and the video is called Hayklon, the extended version, 11 minutes long, by Orbital. And Hayklon was a drug that used to make people extremely vulnerable and suggestible, and it was marketed, and then it was suddenly taken off the market. And people were angry that they had to quit it cold turkey. And the video is this woman, and you see her slippers, and she has ugly brown carpet. Not like a, well, obviously not like a bush in a music video, but she has an ugly brown carpet or something. She's walking in her slippers, her bunny slippers, and she's filling the sink with water, and she's dosed on this drug. And so, obviously I imagined it was you. Not necessarily dosed on a drug. I mean, that was just incidental. But just seeing someone walk around on a ordinary carpet wearing slippers, kind of dragging their feet, and that contrasted with Dance Girl, the idealized version of Dance Girl, who never feels pain, never is worried, never suffers, never cries. And then I see the human Dance Girl, who's just moping around the house on a sad day. And it makes me sad at how great it is. To see her flaws, like, to see her human side. And that's what I really love. And then to think, I'm helpless. That it's human. I could take responsibility for you. It doesn't work. I'm suffering. Dance Girl's moping. Dance Girl's having an off day. There's nothing I can do about it. So I want to suffer with you. And how thankful I am. How lonely I'm not. And I think you get all this. Makes me sad, Dance Girl. I enjoy it immensely. I couldn't really enjoy it more. Anyway, I'm dying now, I'm dead. I don't know what to even say. But I'll have really good breath. That's for sure. Yeah, I'll probably start eating raw vegan tomorrow. It'll be hard, but whatever.
And, well, I think it's about time to go. I mean, I already beat Sonic Crossworld pretty much. I just have to finish Transformers, but it's like way too hard, and I don't think you really care about that anyway, so. But it would be cool if I could play 2-player Sonic Racing with you. I'm not good, just so you know. You're like, I'm not good. I'm also not good. And if you have a vibrating controller, that could be therapeutic for us. Well, I turn the vibration off because it's too distracting sometimes. I meant, maybe I haven't turned it off, but I meant to. Yeah, well, ultimately, I would imagine you'd have a PS5. But if you have, because if you have the money, you would get a PS5. But if you drive a Hyundai, I really don't know what your situation is. That's pretty absurd. I don't know why you don't drive. I like that you don't. I know a guy, Owen Cook, Tyler Durden, he's this self-help guy, and he doesn't drive. He's afraid to drive. I have a friend, Nathan, who doesn't drive. I personally wouldn't drive, but every time my license expires, someone offers to pay for it, and they say, you really need a license. That's actually important that you have that. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. They're like, you need a license. I'm like, okay, I'll get a license. I'll get my license renewed. I'll pay $100 to get my fucking license renewed. But if it had people not have, I've had Jim ex pig, my mom, people fucking hassle me to get a license. I'm like, thank God for women, because if it wasn't for women, I think I stared at the camera too long a few minutes ago too. I think I was trying to be romantic, and I didn't like it. I was like, this is too much. I was like, you feel a little bit off. With someone like Dance Girl, you can't even be a little bit off. And I'm kind of the same way. You can be off, you could be a little bit off, but I will notice. And I will freak out. But I'm like a scared pit bull. If there's something even a little bit off, I'm like, I'm gonna freak out now. And I got my face really close to a scared pit bull, with its face out the window of the car at Shoppers. I somehow had to put my face close to it. My grandma was like, what are you doing? She's like, you're gonna get bit in the face by a dog. I was like, I know. I'm insane. I have to do it. Well, luckily I moved away. That fucking dog. Who knows? That was a scared pit bull. Fiona Apple has a pit bull. Well, yeah, I think I'll get excited for our date again. It's pretty hard to do. Pretty scary. But that's okay. I survived last time. Well, this time it'll be even higher. And I'm not going to bet against us. Oh, well, it's just going to go bad anyway, so so who cares? Or it's just going to go bad anyway, but you're strong enough you can handle it. I'm betting on it going well. Oh, I have my doubts too. But I don't have doubts of meeting you and it not going well. Once in a while maybe, but not really anything significant. It's not really doubts, it's more, I wonder, well, I guess, yeah, that would be what it would be. I wonder, what if we just have nothing to talk about? What if it's just awkward? What if we're just like, so do you like stuff? What if we both shut down? And like, right now I'd say I have chemistry talking to you. But what if I shut down? And I feel self-critical and self-deprecating. And, well, it happens when I'm talking to you on the camera too. But in person it might be more difficult to deal with. I mean, on the camera I can just write it out and go, well, maybe she's not watching, maybe she'll turn it off or something. But in person, 10 seconds of silence feels like a million years. And it'd be like, okay, well, I guess it didn't work. Okay, goodbye. Can you imagine if we had if we had like 5 or 10 minutes of talking and we're like, yeah, I guess we just don't have any chemistry, so goodbye forever. Like after like well, I don't want to say it because it sounds really fucked up, but after like 6 years and we're like, okay, it's been leading to this for this whole time and now everything sucks. Can you imagine that? How fucked that would be? We're like, oh, it turns out you actually have to talk to someone to see if you have chemistry. We just don't. Can you imagine how fucking nuts that would be? Yeah, it turns out you have to actually talk to people, including written language, including syntax and writing. But we just bypassed all that. We just said, well, we did it through soul gazing instead. We did it through soul gazing. I'm trying to soul gaze right now, but it's just corny. My dad is like, don't soul gaze people. He's like, you're an addict to power. And that's not something to do. I was like, I never tried to soul gaze out of power. I didn't even know what soul gazing was. I don't try to soul gaze you. If I look at you, like even right now I'm looking at you, I'm not trying to influence you. I'm not trying to like see through you. I only want to know what you want me to see. I'm not trying to figure you out. I trust you. I can't wait to see your ass. I am so excited. Obviously I've seen it, but not in tight pants. I just can't even wait. TSC is like, I've seen it. Can you imagine if that's what his voice sounded like? I've seen it. He talks like a teenage girl. because he wants to fuck me, so he's pretending he's you. He's like, I've seen it. It's big. Okay, well, I'm hiding now. You can't see me. Fiasco, you're really funny. Even when you lie, you tell the truth. You're really, really funny. You tell on yourself for lying. I adore you, Dance. Well, you know, you make me cry. I mean, obviously, there's no tears falling down my face, but my vision is distorted with eyeball wetness. You've really taken me out of hell. It's indirect, but things happen. Put things into perspective. Well, case in point, the fire truck goes by and they're like, oh, beep, beep, beep. I'm like, fuck you guys. And then I write a review on their channel, on their fucking Google review. I'm like, you guys honk, you guys have stolen valor, you guys have $100,000 a year jobs and you do nothing. How are you not embarrassed of yourselves? All you do is extort the public. You contribute no value to society and you take $100,000 a year. How do you not feel ashamed of yourself? Why do you go by my house beeping? As I'm writing this, I have an audio hallucination that says, don't say this. And then I remembered laughing my ass off when I see the fire truck go into the complex across the street from us and gang stalking them. And to some extent, the old couple across the street.
And then I add to the review, I click edit review, and I say, and I'm a hypocrite. And when you guys harm my enemies, I take fucking, as if I've taken laughing gas or something. I'm being too clever here. I'm basically like, maybe still a little sensitive that I feel like you got me raped, Dance Girl. Fucking, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But, well, I wonder, I'm like, did you put a bag on my head and suffocate me for 6 hours? And now I have brain damage. You know, I sometimes think that. But, or requests that be done. Did that happen at your request? Well, ultimately, don't know. I might be sensitive about things. Now, do you think that when I farted that day, that you were intentionally following me? And that you loved me? And that you hated me because you loved me? That you wanted to prove to me that you would not change your course for me? That you would say, I hate you, you fucking stalker, rapist. And to prove it, I'm gonna walk right behind you. To prove how much I don't want to be near you, I'm gonna get right up close to you when I could easily avoid you. Do you feel like you loved me at that point? And you were my, that you were my pig, but you just didn't realize it? And I was like, you're my pig too, so I can fart around you? It's not a big deal. That you're clearly with me by choice. And then I felt very betrayed. Like, you just got me raped farting near you. You're like, hey, that's my boyfriend. He just farted near me. Kill him and rape him to death. I'm like, dance girl, do you even realize you love me? Well, anyway, so I start laughing my ass off when the fire truck goes into the fucking complex across the street. And so I write that on the review too. I'm like, you guys, thank you for your service too. Thank you for harming my enemies. It makes me laugh a lot. And then I wanted to write, but don't do it anymore, okay? Obviously, I'm not the one calling the shots. Obviously, you're following orders. But if you ever have your own discretion, don't do it on my behalf. This is what I was thinking. Okay, I changed my mind. I was like, don't do it on my behalf. Because I already know, now that I've seen that, I already know you're neutral or you're on my side. And knowing that my enemies know that gives me peace of mind. So whether you harm them or not, it doesn't even matter. Because what I want to know is that I got you on my side, or that I have your neutrality, which I now know. That gives me peace of mind. And I want my enemies to know that you are neutral towards them too, or that you're not on their side. But ultimately you can't really tell, because it goes both ways. They could say, well, it doesn't matter whose side we're on because we're only following orders anyway. But I felt bad with the old couple across the street when the fire truck was there. I was thinking, oh, I don't want anyone to do any gang stalking on my behalf. You know, that's just an old couple, an old nice couple. And then you know what I remembered? They're old perverts. They're gang stalking me for sexual reasons. That's why they do it so often. And I said, I'm glad the fire truck went over and gang stalked them. And by the time they're gang stalking someone, it's because someone else already is aware of this kind of thing. Some handler or someone, they're like, we're keen to what's happening. And we see it. Even if you don't see it, we see it. Because I was too nice. Like, why is it always them? You know, it could be anyone. Gang stalking is like, the whole point of it is that it's the gang. Well, why is it that it's just that couple all the time? I see them far more than other people. They're more exploitative. You know, it's like the laughing flasher. Every time I turn on the vaporizer, he'd leave the house so he could get out right in front of me, right when I go out to have my vape. You know, there's certain ones who I'm like, okay, yeah, I do trust your discretion. By the time you're fucking harming someone, it is because they're my enemy. And so today I got angry at the firefighters. I was like, why are you beeping at me? You're beeping at me because I drove my mom home from the airport and I had to drive by a school. And then the same people who are telling you to beep at me are sending children to stalk me? What's up with that? Well, how does that even logically make sense? So how are you gonna beep at me for that? Making me feel fucking disgusting, making me feel like I have panic attacks when I see a kid. Linking this firefighting thing with being burned and tortured and vehicle harassment and vehicle assaults. And it's traumatizing. And I was like, how do you guys not just feel like mercenaries? You're just what's the difference between a freedom fighter and a terrorist? The uniform. Like, you're just, what are you even doing? You know, what's up with your valor? What did you even sign up for the job for? You're just literally a gang stalker with a huge truck? And you get $100,000 a year? I'll bet. You know, like, I'm a black woman at this point. I'll bet that most firefighters are white. Let me just Google this shit. Let me fucking Google this. I'll bet it's an old boys club. Oh, but if you're a firefighter, I give you 3 stars, okay? Now, there's probably firefighters like, yeah, dude, we would kill you if we could. But maybe not. Maybe there's gang stalkers who like me. Or maybe there's firefighters who like me. I ultimately really did. I have nothing to gain from giving whether I tell the firefighters, fuck you guys, I hate you, or whether I say you guys get 3 stars, it makes no difference to how they treat me. So I have no incentive to lie. And I give the firefighters a 3-star out of 5 because I give them 2.5 stars because they harm my enemies, but they also harm me. So therefore they get exactly 50%. But once I actually see them gang stalking my enemies, which includes you, Dance Girl, but only in the past, and once the people across the street and the people in the other across the street, it makes me laugh so hard. It brings so much joy to my heart. Okay, it makes me giddy. It makes me feel like it's Christmas morning. It's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny to see the fire truck going into a little subdivision, a little parking lot, to gang stalk the old folks in the complex across the street. These fucking people. It's so fucking funny. And they have their big lights on. It was the best. I was like, thank you for your service. I was like, I'm glad that you have $100,000 a year. I'm glad that it pisses those people off too, that you're making more money than them. Or, maybe not if they're handling. Are most firefighters white? It doesn't matter. I bet I will say, yeah, they're white men. Generational recruitment, slow turnover, systemic barriers. There have been recognized challenges regarding how information about recruitment, training requirements, and application windows was shared. Historically, these systems were not always accessible to people outside of established networks. Well, I'm a black woman, and so is Dance Girl. Turnover. Because you're a firefighter for at least 20 or 30 years, the demographic of a small department changes very slowly. Well, just the demographic makeup of a department. It didn't say small. Generational recruitment. Firefighting has traditionally been a profession influenced by internal referrals, often where family members encouraged others to apply. And so basically it's the KKK. It's basically the KKK. It's like, why do you get $100,000 to do the same job that a normal gang stalker does? And why are you all white? And why is the history of your business extorting people and burning down their houses? And why do you drive around with sirens extorting people now? Extorting the whole town. There's no valor in that. You know, I was pissed off. I was like, why do you claim to have valor? Shouldn't you just be ashamed? Shouldn't you just say, yeah, I steal money and extort? That's my job. I literally am I'm an extortionist. It's a group of white guys. A group of white guys. And we all extort money from the system. And we go around blasting sirens at people. Now, don't get me wrong. I gave him 3 stars. Okay, I gave him 3 stars. I don't give a fuck. I buy a bike from. I'm a white guy. I use my privilege. You know, it has nothing to do with fucking skin color, or maybe it does. What's my privilege? I buy things from Walmart, made by people who mine cobalt. But you know, at Walmart, you're gonna have. It's not gonna be just white people at Walmart. It's not gonna be just women at Walmart. And you might say, well, firefighting is just men. But whenever you have a gender that's just one gender doing a certain job, that's kind of suspicious, unless the job calls for it. Like, if it's like tree planting, you're gonna have mostly women. Or sorry, you're gonna have mostly men. If you're doing like Loblaws, like I used to work at this place where you lift heavy boxes all day, that's mostly men. But gang stalking is for women or men. So why would you have to be a man as a firefighter? Like, you're like, okay, honk, you just push a button to honk a horn, and you just sit in a chair. That has nothing to do with physical strength. Active recruitment. Many departments are running specific outreach and ambassador programs to encourage applicants from women, indigenous peoples, and visible minority communities. Could you imagine a visible minority woman firefighter? Changing composition. That would imply that that people are recognizing that based on how houses are built, firefighting isn't a thing. Why is it even called firefighting? Why isn't it just called honking? Why isn't it just called siren ringing?
Changing composition. Newer recruit classes are consistently becoming more diverse. Volunteer sector, because 80% of all firefighters are volunteers, according to some estimates. So does that mean you get paid under the table? Recruitment and retention remain major priorities. Departments are increasingly looking to increase people from all backgrounds to ensure they can maintain adequate staffing levels for their communities. Adequate staffing levels. Well, if there's not high turnover, that would mean that it's a highly sought after job. So they're trying to find they're just trying to find more people because no one wants to do it. But once you get the job, you never quit. Oh, what does that mean? I don't freaking know what that means. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be a fucking freak over here. Oh, that's right. Sometimes I wish I could just do that. Like, what would my life be like? Can you imagine the fucking... I don't know. I don't think it even works like that. I was gonna be like, could you imagine the pigs I'd have if I had $100,000 a year? Like, really though. Like, imagine if I had $100,000 a year. I'd be driving like a Lamborghini. Imagine the fucking pigs I'd have. But then I'm like, you already have. Turns out Jennifer was a model. Okay, where's my MP3 player? Did I bring it inside? I don't know where it is. Damn it. Oh, you know what? My hair actually looks really nice when I style it differently too. I went through some different styles. I feel bad for talking so much trash about the firefighters. Because I really, really appreciate them gang stalking people who I don't like. Fucking more. I appreciate it more coming from them. That's my point. It's more egregious. It's more offensive coming from them. And that's why I like it. Oh, perfect. And I am a hypocrite. I'm not enlightened. I'm not Mirror Dad. I'm the narrator. I'm still struggling, so I'm still like, yeah, you fucking firefighters. And then as soon as they gang stalk the people I don't like, I'm like, oh yes. I'm like, yeah, give them the horns. Give them the brightest lights. Give them all of it. I'm like, this is the best thing. This is the funniest thing. I'm like, whatever handler did this, thank you. I feel like there's a scene in this movie called I Love You, Philip Morris. And he's like, there's this one guy who screams all the time in prison. And he's like, did you have the screamer beat up for me? He's like, yep. He's like, thank you so much. That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for me. Apparently, Philip Morris owns all the vegan food companies that I eat from. Like all this Beyond Chicken and Beyond Meat and stuff. All these processed food companies are owned by cigarette companies. I like Philip Morris. He's like, he got his boyfriend a watch, and
he intentionally got some of the wrong one. And his boyfriend's like, oh, it's really nice. And he's like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. He's like, you don't like it, do you? He's like, no, I love it. And then he's like, no, actually, I know you hate it because I got you the wrong color. That one's mine. Here's yours. And he's like, oh my God, thank you. And then Philip Morris is about to kill himself. He's like on the edge of a building. And his boyfriend's like, if you don't step down right now, I will never talk to you again. And Araj has this kind of sentiment. Araj says that if you kill yourself, fuck you. You selfish piece of shit. And, you know, it's a very different sentiment than what most people have. But you could imagine that a lot of people would have that sentiment, but they would never say it. Raj was, I think, 41, and his youngest girlfriend was 18. I think her name was Goldie, or something like that. All his girlfriends had weird names. I don't know how he's doing. I haven't seen him in a while. I mean, I watched his YouTube videos, and I would make comments to him sometimes. I liked him. I didn't agree with everything he said, but I liked him. I still like him, really. He's one of the few people I didn't feel lonely with. When I would watch his videos, I felt each video was, I don't know, it was just good or something. I don't know how to say it. I felt like he could talk about stuff that mattered. And, well, anyway. Well, he doesn't like buttholes. Yeah, I was like, what's up with that? Sounds fucked up. It sounds a little bit gay. Oh, man.
You can't tell if I'm opening my eyes or not. Maybe they're open, maybe they're not. I bet you wish you could find out. I bet you just wish you could find out. You don't know if they're open or not. I bet you wish you could see. I'm in a secret zone. You can't tell. Well, actually, with Wi-Fi, you can tell. With Wi-Fi, you actually can tell. You actually can tell if I had my eyes open there. With Wi-Fi, you can tell. You know, you can't read lips with Wi-Fi, but you could tell someone's heart rate. You could almost read lips. But why would you have to when you have a microphone? So yeah, you could tell. You could fucking tell, you know, I wasn't trying to hide anything from my baby dance girl. My little dance girl. Dance girl. I mean, did you know, Dance Girl, that eventually your name would be Dance Girl, even after I found out your name? I always wondered if it would just switch to your name, or if your name would switch to Dance Girl. The switch already happened. Dance Girl has such a nice ring to it. You know? And you're like royalty. You're like royalty. You're like doing tutting. I think you're pretty special, Dance Girl. It pleases me that you like all these love letters I say to you. I can't believe I'm going to get to say one in person. It's going to be pretty crazy. Do I look like your dad? I found out I'm a bit Italian. Scottish and Italian. I'm not surprised. A native Indian, apparently. I wasn't just making it up. Well, the reason I say it is because Osho says that you find people who look like your parents. I was raised by my grandma, who has blue eyes and black hair. And I wonder, Dance Girl, I wonder what that's all about. I don't know. Well, maybe I can ask ChatGPT. The phone even works. It doesn't work. Oh, Dance Girl. Gozaimashita. Arigozaimashita. Oh, I can do this. It's not what you think. You think that I'm just bipping and bopping and flipping and flopping and dipping and dopping. But I already had a really heart-to-heart, deep, sentimental conversation. So now I can just fuck around. I've earned it. We had a good conversation. We got married again. And now we're in the honeymoon. But I am falling asleep over here. No, I don't think you've earned it. I mean, I'm talking to myself. I don't think I've earned it. I don't like credit. Like, oh, we just had a magical moment. Well, now I can be boring. And it makes up for being boring because I had a magical moment a few moments ago. It's one of the curses of being in real time, is that there's no credit.
It's just like being always on. I think you're always on too, though. You don't talk as much as I do, but you're always on. The goal is to stay on while sleeping. Without taking acid. And even to some extent without being infatuated. It's probably jealous Louise. Well, I'd like to see her husband. Oh, what a slippery one she is. Oh, I like Louise. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I have bigger things to worry about. Like Dad's girl's butt. I mean, that's how you'd rescue me. That's how you rescued me. You're the real firefighter, Dad's girl. You burst into hell, surrounded by flames and fire. And what did you do? Well, you gave me something better to look forward to. I could say, oh man, it really sucks that I got beeped at. And it's so hypocritical, it's so unfair. Does anyone really believe that it's fair? No way. I can't stand it. Why does it people get it? I can't even talk grammatically correctly. I'm so verklempt. Well, yeah, that's what I think when I don't have a pig. A pig worth not jacking off for. It's quite painful to not be high. To have to live with myself is rather painful. But I'm willing to endure this pain for the chance of going on a date with you. And I'm starved for you. I could say no one wants you more than I do.
How do I stop snorting? I need to sleep. It's been a day. It's raining. I just, oh my god. Talk about a meltdown. Good night, Dance Girl.
Mm-hmm.